Hi everybody. I hope you all are doing well. How's your preparation going on for IP Math GIPMAT? So this is your reasoning session. We last met in the quant session. I hope your preparation is going well and you liked the session. Okay, so when we talk about reasoning in IP Math and GIPMAT, IP Math Rohtak does has reasoning section. Similarly, GIPMAT also has reasoning section, but IP Math Indore, it has been observed in the previous year papers that they give one set of 5 questions, which is not exactly reasoning. Also, it is not exactly data interpretation. Also, so it is somewhere mix of both. Okay, so that is what they give in IP Mat Indore. But IP Mat Rohtak and GIPMAT properly give reasoning questions, everything like directions, analytical reasoning, mathematical puzzles, blood relations, number series, alphanumerical series, everything. Okay, so we'll be going through as many topics as we can cover in these sessions. So please stay connected. So please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. So let's start with the session today. I'm directly going to the first question. Be with me, write in the comment section if you get the answers before I tell you what the answer to the question is. Okay? And tell me if you don't understand. Okay. So, directions. Study the sequence of numbers to work out the pattern on which it is based and find the next term of the sequence. Okay, so we are here given a sequence 2, 10, 30, 68, 130, and we need to find this term. Okay, so with number series, make a note of it that sometimes it might click you in just few seconds that what the pattern is. Sometimes it can take you a longer period of time. Okay, sometimes but there's no fixed methodology of doing number sequence. Okay, it may vary to sequence. It may involve squares, cubes. Sometimes it's just proper simple addition, subtraction. So let's just see in here. Okay, this is increasing by 8. Next term is increasing by 20. Next term is increasing by 38. Next term is increasing by 62. Okay, fine. So now if I see in these two terms, it's increasing by 12, then it's increasing by 18, and then it's increasing by 24. Oh, great. So they are now increasing by 6. So I found the pattern. So now if I increase 24 by 6, I get 30. If I increase 62 by 30, I get 92. And now if I increase 130 by 92, I get my next number. And 130 plus 92 is 222. And that is my answer. And also initially when I added this question, I had the other answer in my mind. Honestly, I had no idea about this pattern. Okay, so the already written answer that I had to this question initially was 2 plus 2 cube is 10, then 3 plus 3 cube is 30, as this is 8, this is 27, and then 4 plus 4 cube is 68, 5 plus 5 cube is equal to 130, and hence my next term would have been simply 6 plus 6 cube, which is equal to 222. Since this is 216, this is 125, this is 64. Oh, interesting that I now, right now on the screen, we have two methods of doing it and we are getting the answer. Also, why do I get method 2? Because sometimes it is easier to see that 10 is very close to the cube, 8. 30 is close to the cube, 27. 68 to 64 and 130 to 125. So sometimes if you are not able to figure out method 1 to certain questions, so look out for such ways. Maybe they're closer to the square the numbers are closer to the cubes, and therefore you might able to identify the pattern. Okay. Okay, now moving to the next question. Okay, last question that we did was to find out the next number in the sequence. Here we are finding out the wrong number in the sequence. Okay, so if I write the numbers again, 94, 86, 76, 64. First of all, numbers are very close to each other. So my assumption is that they involve addition or subtraction only. Also the numbers are decreasing, so it has to be subtraction. So this is minus 2, minus 3, this is minus 7, minus 8, minus 10, minus 12. Okay. So since in the options 94 is not there, this is definitely right. 64 is definitely right. 106 is definitely right. Okay. So my strong hunch is saying that 101 is the odd one out, because then we can have this sequence and this fits the best. So if I do this, this is minus 2, the next term has to be minus 4, it will give me 100, and then minus 6 will give me 94. This fits. Okay. So the answer to this question is 101. This is the odd one out. Again, it might strike you in seconds and it might take you some time. Sometimes it might be as simple as the question we just did. Okay. Okay, now moving to the next question. Okay, complete the analogy. So what is complete the analogy? If in case you don't know, so in such cases, I give you an example by some mathematical analogy. Okay. So let's say if I write 416 and then 525. Okay. So whatever pattern exists between 4 and 16, that means to the number to the right and left to this colon, same relation exists between these two numbers also after these two colons. Okay, so 4 and 4 square, 5 and 5 square. So this is what analogy is. So in this question also, whatever relation exists between this pair should also exist between this pair. So first of all, we need to determine what relationship exists between the first pair. So let's very quickly, for the clarity, let me write this. R S T E. Okay, done. So I have O first, and next alphabet is U. So U is here. How many places away U is from O? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So this is like 6 places away. Now A to G. Again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 places away. So this is also done 6 places away. Now G and M. G and M. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again it's 6 places away. Now if I check E and K. Um, E and K. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again 6 places away. So every alphabet is moving forward 6 places. And so we are getting U, G, M, K. Now we do the same with read. Okay, I'm writing read. If I take forward 6 alphabets starting from R, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's X. Simply option A is cancelled, C is cancelled. Next alphabet is common in both B and D. So I assume it's correct, it's K. So I only need to check the 6 places forward alphabet from A, because in B and D, G and H are different. So therefore, if I get what alphabet will come here, I will get my answer. So let's count 6 alphabets from A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's G. Therefore, your option B is correct. I need not calculate any further. But just in this case, we have a session. We need to cross verify. So let's take these 6 places forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's J. Okay. So your correct answer is option D. Please be very active in the comment section, and please let me know if you are with me, you are understanding everything. If you're finding it okay, if you're finding it difficult and everything. I'm going to the next question now. Okay, it's code decode. In such questions, okay, let me read the question first. In a certain code language, 732 means intelligent trained faculty, 285 means highly intelligent student, 816 means student and teacher. Which numerical symbol in that code language stands for highly? Okay. In such questions, I look for commonalities. For example, if I look at, I call this 1, 2, and 3. I look for the commonalities in 1 and 2. Intelligent word is common in these two. Okay, also number 2 is common. That means intelligent is coded as 2. Simple. Again, now if I look at 2 and 3, okay, student is common and number 8 is common. Therefore, student is coded as 8. Simple. Okay. Now, since we need to find out the code language that stands for highly, and highly is in 2, and in this we already know the code for intelligent and student, therefore, highly has only one choice number left, which is 5. Okay, so the answer to this question is option A. Code language for highly is 5. Okay, this is done. I'm going next. Okay, so this is proper analytical reasoning where we are given certain conditions and we need to determine the answer. Some in such questions have been observed in GIPMAT. They give such questions also. They give circular arrangement or linear arrangement also, data arrangement also. So let's see how do we do these questions. 8 marble balls M1, M2, M3, M4, M5, M6, M7 and M8 are kept in 2 different boxes, B1 and B2, in such a way that each of the boxes contains at least 3 balls. Okay, so we have 2 boxes, B1 and B2. Total 8 balls are there, but B1 and B2 contains at least 3 balls. Therefore, either B1 can have 3 balls, B2 can have 5, or both can have 4 balls, or B1 can have 5 balls and B2 can have 3 balls. These are the possible combination of number of balls each box can have. Okay, let's read further. It is also known that M1 and M3 are not kept in the same box. Okay, so when we have such a condition where we are given that they are not kept in the same box, how do I write is M1 slash M3. Okay, so this means either M1 or M3 is there in B1. So if M1 is in B1, then M3 is in B2. Or if M3 is in B1, then M1 is in B2. So that's how I write while solving these sets. It's very easy. Okay. Next, M2 and M5 are kept in B2 and B1 respectively. Okay, so that means M2 is kept in B2 and M5 is kept in B1. Okay. Again, M6 and M4 are not kept in the same box. So I will write this like I did for M1 and M3. Now M3 and M7 are kept in the same box. Okay. We can just write this individually that they are in the same box. Now M8 is kept in B2. Okay. So we know for sure that B2 has at least 4 balls. Now we need to check if it can be 4 or 5. And 6 is definitely not possible since each box has 3 balls at least. So 6, if a box will have 6 balls, the other box will have 2 balls. So that is not possible. Okay. Now last condition says that M1 and M5 are kept in the same box. Okay, since M1, M5 is in B1, so M1 has to be here. M3 cannot be here, so M3 is in B2. M1 can't be here. And also, whatever box contains M3, M7 is also there. So, therefore, box B2 has 5 balls. So, this is your answer to this question. Okay, moving forward. Okay, it's a calendars question. Very important topics. Always appears in IPMAT Rohtak and JIPMAT. Okay. Okay, so it is given that today is Tuesday. Let's say this is the first day. It is Tuesday. And what day will it be after 62 days? That means we need to calculate what day it will be on 63rd day. So what is 62 days? Can be written as 62 can be written as there are 8 pairs of 7 days plus 6, as in 56 plus 6. Okay, because a week is 7 days long, that's why I've written it like this. Also 63 is 8 weeks, 8 times. That means 63rd day will be nothing but the ending of the week, and the ending of the week is with Tuesday only. Oh, sorry, it will be with Monday. My bad. Okay, 63rd day will be Monday. Now how am I saying this is, okay, let's just observe. The first day is your Monday, so 7th day will be your Sunday, so 8th day will again be Monday. So here the same thing is happening. 63 is the last day of the week. Okay, so that means since here our first day is Tuesday, so last day will be the day before Tuesday, which is Monday. Is that now clear? So your answer to this question is Monday. So you always have to calculate the number of odd days in the case of calendars and then you count. In this case, you could have done like this also, that since their odd number of days are 6. So like that also you could have calculated, you could have gotten that 62nd day is your Sunday and therefore your 63rd day will be Monday. Okay, now going forward. Okay, blood relation. Again, questions on this topic is always there in JIPMAT and IPMAT Rohtak. Okay, it is given that Tinku is the grandson of the mother-in-law of Anita. If Tinku is the cousin of Anita's son and Vijay is Anita's husband, how is Vijay related to Tinku? Okay, so we are given that Tinku is the grandson of mother-in-law of Anita. So I write mother-in-law here of Anita, because we don't know if Tinku is the son of Anita or not, but we know for sure that Tinku is the grandson of mother-in-law of Anita. And I've put a rectangle here to denote that rectangle means male, and for females I will put a circle. Okay. Now next is given that if Tinku is the cousin of Anita's son, so now it is clear that Tinku is not related to Anita directly. So Tinku is the cousin of Anita's son. And Vijay is Anita's husband. Okay, so she's definitely the mother. Now we are asked that how is Vijay related to Tinku? So Vijay must be uncle of Tinku. We need to calculate this. Uncle. Okay, is this clear to everybody? Okay, so the next question is mathematical puzzles. Herein we need to find out the value at the question mark. Similar, it's very similar to finding the pattern in the number sequence. Also, it you have to be a little observant in such situations. Like in this, I can see 343, which I know is equal to 7 cube. I can see 1000, which is equal to 10 cube. I can see 8, which is also equal to 8 minus 1. I can get 7. Okay. Also, I know 11. And if I write 11 minus 1, I can get 10, whose cube is here. And why am I writing it like this? Because they are opposites to each other. 8 and 343 are opposites. 11 and 1000 are opposite. So if this is the pattern, that means if I write 12 minus 1, which is 11, the value opposite to it will be nothing but 11 cube, which is equal to 1331. So answer to this question is option A. Okay, it's like this. Sometimes here it involves cube, sometimes you need not have this also. It's simple addition, subtraction, very easy. This was also easy, not very difficult. Okay, find the odd one out. So you have four figures, and three of these figures are following some similar characteristic about them, but one figure is not. Okay, again, you have to be a little more observant, and you can see that something that can be common here can be intersecting points. Okay, why do I say that is in the first figure, if I calculate the number of intersecting points, so it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. There are 4 intersecting points here. In the second figure, again there are 4 intersecting points. Okay. Now in the third figure, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again there are 4 intersecting points. In the fourth figure, 1, 2, and 3. That's it. Only 3 intersecting points are there. Also, if you try to find out some other characteristic that may be common to other three, see if you calculate the number of lines. Two figures has two lines, two figures has one line only. Also, one figure has one big circle, two figure has two small circles, one figure has one big circle, one small circle. So lines and circles cannot be a common characteristic. Okay. So since these two characteristics are not there, so you have to go beyond that. The next characteristic that can come after that, I think, is only the intersecting points. Okay. So that is why by going that logic, option D is your correct answer. Okay, going to the next question. Okay, it's Venn diagram. In the given diagram, circle represents students playing cricket. Let's just start writing together also. Circle represents students playing cricket. Square represents students playing football. Okay, so this is football. Triangle represents students playing tennis. Okay. Rectangle represents students playing hockey. This is hockey. Is everything done? Okay, yes. Different regions in the diagrams are numbered 1 to 9. Yes. Which region represents students playing cricket? Okay, so for cricket, football, and tennis, but not hockey. Okay, we only need to find out the region common to cricket, football, and tennis, but it should not have any region from rectangle. Okay, so the region common to cricket, so everything, the square and triangle are entirely in the circle, so that is not an issue. Now I only need to find out the common area between tennis and football, so that is triangle and square. So I think that common area is this part, because 7 comes outside triangle, 3 and 4 are inside the rectangle also, and 8 is in the triangle but not in the square. So the common region is the number 6. So option B is your correct answer. That's how you do such questions. They're very easy. Okay, moving to the next. Okay, so this is your question of the day. We have ended our practice session today of the logical reasoning questions relevant to IP-MAT and GIP-MAT, and this is your question of the day. You need to find out the missing number, and we'll discuss the solution of this in our next LR session. Okay, since we have done one such missing number question in the session today, so I think you know what to do. You have to be observant again, you have to find out different things that can be there. You can try cubes, squares, you can find out the pairs, try opposite pairs also, try different things, and let's just see if you get the answer. Okay, you can write your answers in the comment section also before the next session. I will definitely see to it that who has answered what numbers. Okay, also you can ask me your queries regarding IPMAT, GIPMAT, and everything you want to know about these sessions, and we'll meet next on Tuesday at 8:30. So you want to ask me something regarding the sessions or the topics or something that is basically bothering you in this exam, or topics that are not very clear to you, you can ask me. Okay then students, we'll meet in the next session. Thank you.